to have the best possible care. So whatever it takes,
I fucking did that. Yeah, just me on my lonesome today. Supposed to have a guest, and when I hit them up today to see if they were going to come on, they sent me a long and well thought out message that essentially said that my name can't be associated with your brand because of the nature of, I guess, how this podcast is. Like, pretty honest, pretty open, and especially for someone conducting business or what have you. Fair enough that you don't want that kind of honesty affiliated with you. I get it. But it also got me thinking a little bit about the trajectory of this thing and where it's going and what I want it to be. And I'm still figuring that out, really. And I think part and parcel of that is I'm figuring myself out too, I look back at my life, a couple years ago I was in a completely different space. Didn't want to be here. And just didn't really know how to move forward. And now I can see how I want to move forward. It's just figuring out how to do that and what that looks like. But, consistency is important in all things. And this is one thing that I will continue to be consistent with. But when I got that message from the bro today, I did feel a little disheartened initially because, I don't know, I guess it's easy to take something like that as a personal attack, even though that wasn't what it was at all. And that's growth, I guess, being able to realize that and look at that objectively and be like, okay, well, it's not for everyone. But yeah, here we are, being consistent. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard being consistent. Another thing that I do consistently is my. You know what? We're not going to get into that. Anyway, I watched a movie over the weekend, a movie that I love very much, and I thought I'd do a little review of it. And I've also timestamped some clips, which I'll send to Bradley, so he can link them into the video too. Probably also add a link to the movie, because I think you should fucking watch it. I don't care who you are, you should watch it. The movie is called Blood In, Blood Out. A story of three cousins, Miklo, Paco, and Cruz. Miklo fights with his white daddy and he moves back in with his Mexican mama in East LA. He's desperate to get into the gang, Vatos Locos, with his cousins, but his white skin isolates him from his familia. After starting a turf war, Cruz, an artist on scholarship, gets his back broken by a rival gang, the Spiders. This leads Paco, Miklo, and the gang to avenge Cruz. Miklo ends up killing the rival gang leader and goes to prison. Paco goes to the military, and Cruz becomes a drug addict. The rest of the film is their stories and how they play out, essentially. Cruz's depression after he accidentally kills his little brother. Paco becoming a DEA agent, and Miklo's unlikely rise from prison bitch to leader of the most dangerous prison gang. The film itself was shot inside San Quentin prison with real prisoners, including then inmate Danny Trejo. So basically,
If I continue this bit of a poem, this webcam, that's happening.
which one?
That's why I hear some business oil, but there you go. Just now the smartest disconnected. Oh my god. We would continue from where we were.
All right, wherever we were. Yeah, a lot of the film was filmed in San Quentin prison. So the prison gang is called La Onda, and it roughly translates to the wave. And their motto is blood in, blood out, which is obviously the title of the film. And the whole idea behind that is to get into the gang, you got to kill someone. But like with, I don't know, you have to watch the movie pretty much. I'm just gonna give a synopsis and clips. The only way Miklo can get into Londa is to take out their biggest enemy, Big Al. He's the leader of the white supremacists and a raging homer. By becoming Big Al's bitch, he gets close enough to take him out. And when he actually does take him out, he walks in on Big Al and one of the prison guards dealing dodgy and manages to kill Big Al and steal all their money in one swoop, which kind of guarantees him a place in the gang. Time goes on, Paco becomes DEA, like in the undercover unit. He's trying to bust these PCP labs that are run by Londa. Miklo gets released after a while. He gets his GED, sorts himself out essentially. But he keeps getting fucked over by his boss, and his roommates suck. And basically, he realizes that I'm evil. He realizes that he's a criminal. That's his calling card. So he ends up in an armed robbery, and that the DEA get tipped off about the armed robbery, and it kind of ends with Paco shooting Miklo in the leg, and he loses that leg. From there, the third act, it's Miklo's systematic rise to power in the most dangerous Mexican prison gang. As a white man with one leg, who would have thought? That kind of concludes in a full-blown prison riot and mass slaughter on Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And Paco and Cruz kind of reconcile because they basically cut Cruz off after he accidentally killed his little brother. It's a really fucking good film. It's long, but every shot, every scene, every bit of dialogue is important to the story. And it's a fucking good watch, really. Yeah, as I said, I'm gonna get some clips in there. If you're watching, you probably would have seen them by now. I guess I'll stop talking about it. Yeah, it's kind of hard with this little project of mine to figure out insight or direction without any audience participation, because at this point I don't really have much of an audience. But I'd like to. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll get an audience, and maybe they will give me some feedback. And I don't know. But it's easy doing something like this to, I guess, feel like a bit of self-doubt, especially in the beginning stages, when I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. But I do believe we'll get there. And yeah. Listen to Pink Floyd's Pulse album the other day. It's a live album. It's really fucking good. Never listened to it before, and I'm glad I did. Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah, I don't really yeah. Set it up feeling blah 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 blah. Blah. Yeah. Interesting thought. Would love some feedback on this. Sims plus AI. What would happen? Would they know their Sims? Would they know? And isn't that just what we are? Someone I was talking to the other day mentioned there's a game that's out at the moment, and it's got it's basically got a bigger map than the Milky Way, they reckon. And I've been talking about impregnating that with AI, and that would be a trip, wouldn't it? Like such a massive world with artificial intelligence. And it's getting to that point, like we all use it. And if you don't, you will. But I'm pretty sure we all use it. Even without realizing. And it's just gonna get to the point where it becomes part of life, kind of like smartphones. That is like the beginning, and AI is the next step in that. What would be really interesting is if it does kind of pan out like that movie WALL-E, where everyone is essentially a fat toddler. They just don't grow joints and shit anymore because they don't need to, because machines do everything. It's really hard to say though, like in one regard, gone are the days of like aspiring for the bare minimum, It's like we know too much. The world is completely open source for us, and we we just consume, don't we? Like content, stuff. And I don't know how we're gonna get past that. Feeling like this is gonna be a bit of a serious one, isn't it? I ain't got too much funny to say today. I guess I'm just been a bit stuck in my head about stuff, like trying to figure out the next steps. And it's not just with this podcast. I guess it's in life too. Like, bruh, I need to make some fucking money, eh? Like, and people on the internet make it look real easy. They just are on there all the time, and they start making money. I don't have the luxury of being able to be on the internet all the time, but man, I really want to get the ball rolling somehow, because we live in the most expensive country in the world. How the fuck does that work? It's like the smallest country too. It's not the smallest country, but it's a small country, and it's the most expensive. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how that makes sense. Bradley, tell me how that makes sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Yeah, I saw this video earlier today. I'm gonna fuck this story up, I already know. And basically, there's like a wellness journal, and it's talking about like finances and just making it work, in our current climate here in this country. And come to find out that the mother and daughter on the cover of that have moved to Australia because they couldn't afford to live here. What a shambles. What a schmozzle. You know that guy, the TikTok inspector? Yo, he's the man. He's Australian, and he just goes to different work sites, and he's like non-compliant. That's not going to mean anything to you if you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, well. Well, what else? Let's see what I got on my notes, eh? Because I'm running a bit dry on the brain. Just been too busy thinking. Get busy thinking or get busy dying. The flabbergasted Padres. Great. No, I ain't got nothing. What is reincarnation? Because sometimes I feel like babies are grown people trying to operate machinery they don't understand. Yeah, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Reincarnation. I know that Buddhists believe in that, and I'm not sure if other religions believe in that or not, but man, I fuck with that idea. Like, I guess when I had my sis on, and we were talking about how like we've been here before. Not all of us, but some of us, that thought lingers, and I feel like maybe there is such a thing as reincarnation, but maybe it just doesn't play out quite how we would perceive it. But how could it? Like we've only got 5 senses. Who the fuck knows how many other things out there to sense there are? Is that what they go on when they talk about the 6th sense? Like, is that all encompassing of all the other shit, or is that just one extra sense? It's like being Down syndrome, having an extra chromosome. I don't know. But, yeah. I wonder if there is such a thing as reincarnation. Do you always come back as people? Or could you come back as, like, I don't know, like, I think of, like, snails have stood on by mistake or shit like that. Could have been some homie, like, just going through a journey, I remember I had, a few years ago, I had a really kind of pivotal moment in my life, and it was a very tough time, and I had to have some very honest conversations with certain people, and I was doing a lot of learning about myself, and at the end of the night, I was outside having a dart, and I sat there for about 45 minutes, and I just happened to sit there, like, when this snail was giving birth. I don't know if you ever seen a snail give birth before. It's one of the most disgusting things you'll ever see. And she had this, like, she had the 3 babies, and then about 100 mile away, there was, like, the runt. And, it was a really, incredible process to watch, how these little babies detached from the mother, and then the mother went her way, and then the babies went their way, and then the runt just kind of like, was, like, rolling around and just fucked up, like, you knew it wasn't gonna last the night. And historically, I guess that's kinda how humanity was for a time too, like, they'd just throw the runt off a cliff or something. I don't know. It's all kinda fucked up. Well, yeah. It's a bit of an odd one tonight, not gonna lie. I'm not usually very structured, but I feel like today is particularly unstructured. I'm gonna put that down to just finding out last minute that I ain't gonna have a guest. But, well, we'll keep on trucking, eh? Stick with it. You'll get there. Even if there's no competence, there's something else. I don't know what. Yeah. Anyway, be good to each other, and It's a journey. We're all on this journey together. I'm just here and you're there. But yeah, stick with it. I'll figure it out. Give me pointers too. Fucking give me pointers. Nah, please. All right, cool. Yeah, have a good night and catch you next week.